You write them off at your own peril. That's what a wise man said once about Mumbai Indians, and it's standing true even in IPL 2021. And remember, guys, all those years ago, they needed to win, by 14 overs, chasing 190 against Rajasthan. They did that to qualify. It was pretty much the same thing today, because at the end of the day, they chased down a relatively modest target from Rajasthan Royals, and they cruised home with 11 overs to spare. Emphatic, comprehensive, use what word you might. But Mark Butcher, what word will you use?
Inevitable. How about
that? Inevitable indeed. But talk to me about how they went about it. Was it just the toss and everything going right for them, or was it just tactical?
A little bit of that. They made one or two changes to the lineup again. Brought Ish and Kishan back in from out of the cold. And Jimmy Neesham as well. I mean, if anybody had told me that Jimmy Neesham would have taken 3 for 12 in a must-win game for Mumbai, I might not have believed them. But fabulous bowling performance from him. Fabulous bowling performance from Nathan Coulter-Nile, who is one of the unsung all-rounders, I suppose, in world franchise cricket. And in the end, it was a demolition.
It was, and we'll come to the bowlers' predictions because we both went for Bumrah, including Crickletics as well, and it was Nathan Coulter-Nile who came away with a best figures, so to speak. But we'll get to that. I just want to ask you about Rajasthan Royals. Where did it go wrong for them? Because they played some kamikaze cricket against Chennai Super Kings. They tried to go the same way, but it wasn't the pitch to do that, I'm guessing.
No. I mean, I think that's you've hit the nail on the head, really. Surface wasn't a good one again. We spoke about how tired the pitches have become, and that we're hoping that they've got a couple of fresh ones that they've been keeping under wraps for the playoffs and for the finals, because they kind of don't make for pretty watching for cricket. Every once in a while, of course, with a low scoring game, you get a thriller, but more often than not, you get a team that doesn't make a total that's anywhere near, and it gets knocked off pretty comfortably by the team chasing. So, Rajasthan Royals have found themselves in a similar position where they're kind of hanging in there around sort of playoff time, find themselves with a couple of games to go, needing to put a couple of big performances in, and then falling short at the last hurdle, not being able to do so. And that is exactly what has happened here once again.
Yeah, I mean, plenty went on. And when you look back at this game, you wouldn't think about, the cricket essentially. You would think about how Mumbai did the job so convincingly, because in the grander scheme of things, they stay alive. Like I said, if they do this and they do an encore, so to speak, against SRH, who they face at the last league game of the phase, it's going to be really interesting, especially Butch, knowing that they will pretty much know if KKR are in or out. They'll know what RR stand or whoever is in the mix. So does that give MI a slight advantage?
Well, I tell you what gives them an advantage. They've got to play SRH last. That's a huge advantage. Now, Rajasthan Royals are not a bad outfit. They're a good team, and they've got some fine players. And so for KKR, I think that's a much more difficult challenge than Mumbai against Sunrisers as we sit here at this moment in time. So, the net run rate that has helped, it's been helped by the victory today. That is for sure. And they will, they win the last one, they'll get themselves up to 14 points. And as you say, they will know by the time that the time comes what they will have to do in terms of victory. Should KKR get over the line, who are they playing again? I've forgotten already. Rajasthan. They play Rajasthan, don't they? Mumbai at the moment are doing what annoys people so much, which is which points to people sort of going, oh, well, the whole thing's rigged and it always turns out in their favour. Well, it's not. They're just very good, and they
you make
sometimes leave it late.
Brilliant point. You do make a brilliant point, because I was just bantering one of my Mumbai mates on the phone, and he was just like, just watch how this is all going to unfold. They're going to hammer SRH. They're going to trickle through where they're going to face Virat's RCB, which is, of course, my franchise. And then to top it all, they will eliminate Bangalore in the eliminator, meet the loser of CSK DC, beat perhaps DC, then the El Clasico in the final, and take it all away, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, the one thing is that you have to kill them off, don't you? You have to make sure that they are dead and buried as you go into the last couple of rounds, because if you don't, the chances are they'll wriggle out of it somehow and then cause people problems in the knockout stages.
Yeah, now for Rajasthan Royals, they need to hammer KKR by 170 runs is what my producer is telling me in terms of to them to overrule Mumbai's net run rate. But let's see if that really plays out. I think it's either Mumbai or KKR or Punjab if they can kind of trickle through. Let's get to the predictions then, because batsman, it was Ishan Kishan. His first 50, believe it or not, of IPL 2021. Now, he had a sublime IPL 2020 where he top scored for the franchise, I think, with Quinton de Kock. What can we talk about the batting today? We'll talk about Evan Lewis and how they capitulated up top. Were you surprised with RR?
No, I just think the approach was a little too gung ho for the pitch that they're playing on. And sometimes that's excusable when you come up against a team like Mumbai, because you always think to yourself, well, we need 20 more than par. And even if they judged that par was 130, they might in the back of their minds thought, you know what, in order to be safe, we might need 150. And as a consequence of that, you fall miles short of both. So, a more confident team, perhaps, or a team that had kind of got itself into a proper groove of winning, and confident performances throughout batting lineup, would have perhaps been able to have gauged a first innings score better and wouldn't have panicked and decided to go too hard too soon. And they might have found themselves, who knows, 120 might well have done them well enough on this surface, because it wasn't a good one.
Food for thought that. I mean, everyone before this match was predicting a low-scoring affair, but not this low. I mean, it's so fast that the game's got over. It's 10:47 back here. Normally, just to give you guys back home an indication of when me and Butch do the shoots, it's about 11:45, 12. So it gives you an indication how fast Mumbai got the demolition job done, like you said. Bowlers, nothing to talk about, but just a question, Coulter Nile. I mean, if he continues that form, it does fix their whole problem with the third foreign pacer, right?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and again, he's such a handy player, such a good utility player as well. Can hit huge balls down the order as well. I suppose the interesting thing for me was that Nishan played and played such a big role with the ball in the lineup. They made a couple of calls because Quinton de Kock didn't play, so the chances are that will reverse at some point. I don't know if it was an injury. I don't know what's going on. It's difficult to tell from South London. But once again, Mumbai sort of got it right on the night, and that keeps them alive.
It does keep them alive, and let's see how that really unfolds in due course. But we'll bring it all for you on cricket.com. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. This little short preview, because at the end of the day, I mean, there's so much going on. We can't really put our head around. We'll catch you guys, of course, post-match tomorrow as well. Until then, stay tuned and subscribe to the cricket.com YouTube channel.